good evening. Glad to have you join us here tonight. We're grateful to be in Hawaii. It's fun to be here. Thank you to the FFA for the wonderful dinner. That was amazing. Great job as always. And thank you for bringing the flag in so we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to item approval of the agenda. We will be removing item 1.6. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, move to approve the agenda with the removal of 1.06.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Chair votes aye, and the agenda is approved. Item 1.4 is introduction of our ECSD student board member, Katie White.
Thank you, Caitlin, for being here with us today as a student board member. For those of you who have not seen this before, because this is something new to this school year, we very much have made it a point to have a student board member represented from every campus or community we're in everywhere we go now, to make sure we get that student voice. After all, everything we do is for our students and trying to make sure that our decisions are guided by them. And so, Katie, great to have you here. I've got a short little thing I'm gonna read about you real quick. I'm not trying to embarrass you or anything, but this is what I do, okay? So, Katie Hawaii is a senior at Hawaii Combined School. He was born on April 18, 2005 to Kendrick Hawaii and Tiffin Cook. Kaden has a 3.3 GPA and is on pace to graduate. He has participated in the Student Leadership Council and is a member of Trio Upward Battle. Kaden was a member of the state qualifying varsity basketball team. He currently does not plan on attending college, but will go directly into the world of work with Nevada Gold. Thank you for being here with us today, Kaden.
Have you with us, and we're glad to have your hands up here as well, it looks like. So thank you for your support. And as we go through, we'll ask you to please share your thoughts on any agenda item. You can't vote, but we certainly want your voice because that makes a difference for us. So thank you. All right, thank you for having me. Yeah. All right, we will move on to item 1.5, which is recognition of our ECSD STEM Fair Grand Prize winners, Siavi Melendez and Madison Jones.
One of the co-directors of the STEM Fair. So Siavi and Madison were the top two grand prize winners of the STEM Fair in Elko, and they'll be getting to go to Dallas for the International Science and Engineering Fair in Dallas. So congratulations to those two. And Madison will be going.
I'm Madison Jones from Hawaii High School. I'm a senior, and sorry, I did a research project on the medicinal uses of artificial terracotta, also known as sagebrush. My introduction is is when a horse is injured, we make sure to let it go out to a field with lots of sagebrush after an injury, such as like a cut on an animal. Sagebrush helps with the wounds on an animal and helps it grow the skin when the animal brushes against the leaves of sagebrush. While testing my extract of big sagebrush in a lab, I also had the opportunity to test the extracts on lung cancer cells. My research questions were, does sagebrush inhibit the growth of bacteria, and how does sagebrush extract affect cancer cells? I hypothesized that sagebrush would inhibit the growth of bacteria due to its inflammatory compounds, and I also hypothesized that sagebrush may have anti-cancer properties. The first part of my method was I prepared a tea by boiling some sagebrush in water and then allowing it to cool down after we boil. And the plant from the tea. And then I also prepared an ethanol extract by putting my sagebrush in with ethanol and allowing it to set for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then extracting the sagebrush actually from the ethanol extract. The second part of my method was a disc diffusion essay on Escherichia coli, also known as E. coli bacteria. I had one petri dish that was straight with E. coli, and I had 4 little paper discs that were collecting those solutions and then added to the petri dish. My first disc was a chloramphenicol disc, and chloramphenicol is like a type of antibiotic. And my second disc was a sagebrush tea. My third disc was an ethanol extract of the sagebrush, and my fourth disc was just plain old 6 discs for control. And my petri dish was incubated at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. My third method was an Almar Blue essay on A549 lung cancer cells, which were 4 dilutions of each tea and ethanol extract were prepared, and 180 microliters of fresh cell media were added to 96 little 20 microliters of designated plant extracts were added to the designated and labeled wells. The well plates were incubated for 48 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. The Almar Blue was then added to the well plates after the first incubation, and then the well plates were incubated for another 24 hours after the last incubation. The process was determined by a well plate. This was this was the result of the E. coli bacteria on my petri dish. As you can see, the sagebrush extract or ethanol extract and the tea did not do anything to it. So the little chloramphenicol disc had a little control around it. That's how it would look if my sagebrush controlled anything. These are my well plates, and this is the tea substance. Walls of the pink color show that the lung cancer cells are alive, and walls of the purple color show that the cancer cells are no longer viable. Extracts with the these are the well plates with the ethanol extract. Again, walls with the pink color show that the cancer cells are alive, and the walls with the purple color show that the cancer cells are no longer viable. Right? As you can see, there's a lot of purple there. This is this is the plate here, and it shows that the higher the number, the less it works, and the lower the number, the more it works. So on this water line, tea extract number 120 was the one that worked the most. This is the extractions with the ethanol, and the lower the number, the more it works, and the higher the number, the less it works. So 120 and 180 work very well. These kind of just show my cell viability and the log dilution. As long as it was under 50, it killed everything, and then if it was above, it just showed And so with the blue lines, it showed that the hot water didn't really work. And with the ethanol, it worked very well. My hypothesis is about the antimicrobial effects of sagebrush on E. coli bacteria was rejected. The results showed no growth inhibiting effect around this with sagebrush system. Further tests should be done with other types of bacteria, which will show different results. As for the essay on 120 and 180 dilutions of sagebrush ethanol extracts showed a growth inhibiting effect on the lung cancer cells. Future work should be done, should include testing sagebrush extracts on cancer cells. My acknowledgements were Crystal Sosa from Boise State University, Dr. Kenneth Cornell from Boise State University, and the Department of Chemistry and Biology.
Any questions from the board?
I just encourage you to continue, continue to do this. This is fantastic.
Thank you. I
With
would hope so.
with it being sagebrush, you need to make sure that you keep following up on it, because that seems to be pretty prevalent in our area. But please follow up on it, continue with it. It's a fantastic product. It's great. Hard work and it's good.
Thank you.
I'm kind of morbidly curious about the tea, if anybody tried it too, if it's palatable or not. If it tastes good.
No,
Doesn't-
no.
How, not knowing enough about E. coli and equine, how often are horses impacted by E. coli? Because you had indicated that the horses go out into the field, but you tested E. coli. Is that a common?
No, it's not common. It's just something that was at the lab that I was able to test on.
Okay.
So I was hoping for like a blood bacteria, but people I wasn't know about the lab.
Gotcha. And I would echo, please continue doing it.
Thank you.
Madison, this project is of particular interest to me. Growing up, we always turned our horses out in the brush when they got a cut. They healed faster. I mean, they just did. So I love to see this research. And I'm curious if the hot water in your tea caused some of the properties of the sagebrush to, be inhibited, and maybe cold water. And so do something different. But
I think
this
it's
is amazing.
a higher amount of extraction that parts.
Thank you. This is a great project, and we hope to see great things come of this, because we definitely have a plentiful supply of sagebrush. All right, any other questions or comments from the board?
Just wish you luck in Dallas, what you're doing. Yeah, congrats on that. So.
Thank you.
Madison, we have a certificate for you, so if you want to come by and shake hands, we'll send you your certificate, and then we'll go see you.
I have
Is there room there?
Yeah. My name is Tiagi, I'm a senior here at White Grad School, and this is my research project this year. This is actually a continuation project from last year. So my project is on medicinal properties of Formation Seca and Sambucus Grill, commonly known as like friendly biscuit root and elderberry, or like the native Cayenne. So you two medicines are like traditional herbal medicines used in our communities for like infections or for illnesses. You can like topically use them, you can ingest them, you can put them in the air, like. And I just wanted to see their effects on lung cancer because how they're used to treat respiratory like infections. So last year I tested them on MRCA5 lung cancer cells. And MRCA5 lung cancer cells derived from a fetus that wasn't viable because it had 3 stages of lung cancer cells, so it was weaker. Whereas like this year I used A549 lung cancer cells that came from an older man who had actually died from the cancer. So it's a different stage and it's a different strain. And my hypothesis was that both the plants were going to be effective against the A549 lung cancer cells because in my previous project last year, the elderberry had a really good anti-cancer effect on MRCA5 cells. And my really this year we didn't have such a strong effect like I thought it was going to. But I really just think it was because of the dilutions I used, and I feel like I really diluted it, and I didn't use it to its full potential. So that's something I did this year. Okay, can go to the next slide. Okay, so I did an almond reaction. So put it on cells and the cells die in 10 years. So what we do before we put the cells in the well plate, we actually dye all the cells we already have and take out the dead ones. So we're starting with fresh cells. And we feed them and we incubate them in our project. So that's what I did. I put my cells into well plates and I made extractions. So I made an ethanol extraction of both the elderberry and the friendly biscuit root. But it was really important for me for this year to make traditionally prepared extractions instead of using like a really what I felt was diluted extraction in the lab, whereas like at home and like traditionally we like really boil the hell out of it. And it was like when we made it, it was like water, but when I brought mine, it was like real dark, and I was like, this is the good stuff. So that's what I used this year, and that was important for me to use that to accurately reflect our traditional medicine. So we made dilutions of the plants, and I put them on the cells and incubated them for 48 hours. And over those 48 hours, the cells died. So, like Maddie had said, when the cells die, they turn blue. So, the dark blue cells are the dead cells. I also have control, a positive and a negative control. So the positive control are all alive, whereas the negative control are all dead. So if you look at like that middle picture right there, the cells at the very top that are most deep, those cells are all alive compared to the ones at the very bottom, which are dead, and the ones at the deep are the extracts. Another thing I did this year, just for fun, I didn't do a lot. I mixed the elderberry and the donut together to see like the effects they would have. Turns out they still worked, but mostly because my friendly biscuit root worked so well this year compared to my elderberry. So it was really from the biscuit root that caused the mixture to work as well as it did. Okay, so these are my results. We put our well plates through a fluorescent well plate reader, and when the cells turn blue, it makes it really cloudy, and the light from the well plate reader can't come up all the way. So if you look at like where I said like all the live cells were, you get numbers as high as 17,000, and my dosat and higher traditional and ethanol extraction got so low to 1,000. So almost like 0 cell viability from the dosat, which is, I'm used to calling it dosat. I call it friendly biscuit root because that's its common name. But for me in my heart, it's dosat, and that's what I'm referring to. So the dosat did really well this year compared to my elderberry that did really well last year, but the two main differences, I used two different kinds of cancer cells. I increased my concentration of dozat, but my elderberry this year was also old. So I didn't have time to get new elderberry. And like over time, things lose nutritional value, it was frozen, I thawed it, I warmed it up, like all the things that I had to do to get it so I can use it for my project and easily affect like the results I get. So if I had another year of high school, I could still do this. But this is what I got. I'm really proud of my results. And these were the results I was really hoping for last year, but I can really show that through my research project. Yeah, this is pretty much kind of what I was saying, how like the elderberry showed more anti-cancer activity in the MRC5 cells compared to where the dozat showed more anti-cancer activity on the ACE9 lung cancer cells. Yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. I kind of just copy and pasted it. But yeah, this project was really important to me, and I just want to like give credit to Ms. Mann for giving me the opportunity to go to Boise State and work with Professor Cornell in the biology and chemistry department, and Crystal Sosa, who helped me with all the laboratory procedures. But I'm in high school and I don't know anything about computer biology, but they helped me a lot, and I'm really grateful because this project has given me a lot of opportunities. And yeah, I'm able just to connect our traditional knowledge that we hold dearly to us through science. So yeah, it's my project.
Question, what did you use to feed cancer cells?
Agar, something agar.
Like sugar?
Yeah, it's like a broth.
Like a sugar
It
base?
just keeps them.
I just like to point that out at the time of children. People might
Yeah,
practice.
it's just like cell agar, like broth.
And then I just encourage you, please follow through, even if you have a time frame in between now and when you can pursue this. This is a fantastic project that can go farther. I tell people in my practice all the time that elderberry has healing properties. You know, we talk to them about it all the time. So anyway, so just please continue to do this, continue to follow through with this. Hopefully we get some leeway with this.
Great job. We don't want you to have an extra year of high school just for this process either. So yes, please do continue to do what you can, partner with other people if you're not able to do it independently. Because this could have, you know, I mean, this literal life-changing effects. So thank you.
So from our perspective, I mean, it was awesome to see you 2 years in a row with the same type of project. And I know last year you talked about potential, like you said you were going to keep going with this, but you also talked about potentially what you wanted to study, where you wanted to go, and that sort of thing. Have you don't mind me putting you on the spot? Do you know what you're going to be doing in a month or so?
So I unofficially decided where I'm going to go. I'm going to be going to Tufts University, it's private overall, it's in Boston, and I'm more on the like political science route because it's like politics and like tribal issues are also really important to me. So I think that might be the route I'm going to go, but I still have to take chemistry and biology and still get to do undergrad research. So if it's available for me to do that, I would love to be able to do this at like a higher level.
Did you say Towson?
That's
Oh, Tufts. Smart. As they say.
It's great to see you in a row. Your research is amazing and good luck as you do everything you're going to do. I should send.
Thank you again, and we love to see the STEM fair projects that come from Hawaii, because they are always so impressive. I'm just always excited to see the research. So thank you for being here, and good luck as you pursue your higher education goals and life. It's just beginning, right here after high school. We'll move on to item 1.7, input from the public. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public, if any. In the interest of privacy and due process, the public is requested to not raise personnel issues except in a legally noticed closed personnel session of the board. Comments are limited to 3 consecutive minutes. A speaker's time may not be reserved, divided, apportioned, or deferred. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been included specifically on an agenda as an item upon which action will be taken. I have 2 requests for public comment. First, I've got Shannon Thomas, Jim.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Shayna Thomas Jim, and I'm the school counselor here. I spent the last 25 years in this building as a student, former art teacher, and now school counselor. The majority of our students, teachers, staff, and parents are in favor of a 4-day school week. This change would allow our school the same opportunities as other combined schools in the district in regards to scheduled extracurricular activities without impacting instruction. Hawaii already has additional challenges with teacher hiring and retention. Our school will be hiring at least 10 qualified professionals next year. It is a disadvantage to compete with other schools within the district with a shorter work week. A shorter work week is very beneficial for our students involved in extracurricular activities that take place over the weekend, in addition to our teachers who serve as coaches and advisors. Our attendance data will support these statements. The 4-day school week would benefit our students by allowing them extra time to complete assignments on Friday. It is also helpful for our teachers, students, and staff who must conduct business during the regular work week. Living in a rural area makes it impossible to conduct all required medical and personal business appointments outside of our regular school week. Fridays would allow teachers and staff to schedule these appointments out of town, in addition to supporting their mental health. A 4-day school week would greatly benefit our school staff and environment. Our community also has the flexibility in adjusting to a 4-day work week. Programming can be available to the school and tribal programs that would assist in offering babysitting services as well as youth programs. Thank you for your time and consideration of approving a 4-day school week. Thank you.
Request from Shirley Snails.
My name is Shayna Lee Snails. I'm the school nurse here. I like my schools. I just have some things to add. I second a lot of what Shane Thomas already said. I am in favor of the 4-day school week. This area is very geographically isolated, and it's a long ways to vendors and services, and particularly medical services. We have some things that we have here to offer our community locally, but a lot of needs are met outside of this area for both physical and mental health. Having Fridays off would allow more community members and staff members to go and meet those needs. Also, I'm concerned about having the whole rest of the district on a 4-day school week if a wife was left on a 5-day school week. The other schools would be receiving their academic needs or meeting their academic needs in those 4 days. If a YZ were to miss Fridays, which a lot of our students would be for extracurricular activities and athletic activities, it would be unfair to them to miss that curriculum. The other thing I have concerns about is, my understanding is that central office will be closed on Fridays. So if we were left open on Fridays, we wouldn't have the support from central office that we need. The other thing is, we're a very socially isolated community also, like most rural, small communities are. It's a very tight-knit, close community. And so staff members who are hired from outside of our communities, it can be very socially isolating for them. They would need that time off to be able to go visit family and to go salsa dancing or whatever they need, that they wouldn't be able to find here. And I talked to, a lot of the traveling medical professionals at OCHF who come here and say, gosh, I read in the email that it was really isolated here, but I just had no idea. So we need to have lots of different things that we can draw people to come work here. And a 4-day school would be one of those things. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to make a comment at this time? Come on up.
I'm sorry to get a chance to fill out a form. but
That's
I-
fine. Come up and share your name and we'd love to hear what you have to say.
My name is Kathy Dixon, and I'm here representing a group that we call Native Youth Advisory Team. It consists of tribal departments, social service, domestic violence, the court proceedings, and some of the concerns that we've had in our meeting for our school are things like our department's trying to get in to help out with things that are going on in our school. The fighting that occurs, the bullying, the abuse that occurs with bullying. We've been trying to get into the community, into the school to do some training. So they asked if I could attend tonight and voice my concerns about taking a look at following the rules and regulations, making sure our parents are aware of what policies are out there so that they know what needs to be done when there is an arise issue for bullying. Are the policies being followed and are parents aware of what policies they need to follow? So that was the concern I wanted to express for them. For me as a parent, I have 5 grandchildren that attend here that I have custody of. I have had some concerns with attendance with my children. They've been marked truant coming in for the first hour of school. So I decided to bring them to school to make sure they get to class. So I get to school, go to the door, teacher's not there. I walk to the school to see, where everybody's at, because my child's telling me that sometimes they're not there, so he wanders off. I'm also getting issues where during the class hours, I get these notices saying that they're not in class, and I'm like, well, who's monitoring the kids? Why aren't they, in class like they should be? I do my part to talk to them, but, as a grandparent of a Generation X and these new kids that I'm, working with, it's been a little difficult because I'm more of a grandparent than a parent, I think, as I go along. But the concern that I have with that too is the children that were held back this year because we're at the end of COVID and attendance wasn't too good. A lot of the kids got held back, and I was looking at the policies and procedures with the school district, and then I was referred to the Hawaii Combined School Policies and Procedures, which I think the elementary has 21, 22 school year, and I think we just updated the high school policy and procedure for 22, 23. Is that correct? Yeah. And following the process of, if my child's not in school, then, notify me. If there's an issue with bullying, call me in, let me know what's going on. And then if there's procedures that need to be followed, am I aware of it? Are other parents aware of it? Because we're in a community where we do not have access to the internet, not everybody does. So I want to just make sure that we all have access to it. Everybody knows the process. Am I up?
That's your time. But there's time at the end again, if you'd like to come back up at the end.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to make a comment? None, we'll move on to item 2.1. Receive and review of a presentation from Hawaii Combined regarding requests to move to a 4-day school week and the possible approval of any actions related thereto.
Right. Good evening, everybody. Madison and I were talking, I think I'm under public speaking than she is. But thankfully, Shannon Lee gave a lot of our presentations. So we face many challenges in Hawaii. In your board packet, you saw the information, so we have a chronic attendance problem, but it is worse on Fridays. That 3.5% worse on Fridays equals a dozen more students every Friday that we're missing. And that's a serious issue. We sent out a survey to staff, students, and parents of students here. The staff was overwhelmingly in favor of it at 82% in favor of 4-day week. Students were almost 87% in favor of it. And parent responses we got back were 73% in favor of a 4-day week. I don't think there's any disputing that fact. The points made about how it will be more difficult to recruit teachers, which is always a problem here in Hawaii, would be exacerbated if we're left on a 5-day week. And probably the one thing that wasn't said is it could be looked at as an equity issue with our native population if we were the only school to be left on a 5-day week, just so everybody's aware of that. Board has already said that a 4-day week is in the best interest of the ECSD students, so we just encourage the board to take action and allow Hawaii have a 4-day week next year.
I agree with Mr. Streeter.
We reversed that.
Excellent.
Right, any questions for Mr. Streeter? Any questions?
I actually just have a quick one from you. On that survey, we had a lot of problem district-wide in getting parents to respond. I'm curious if you know offhand what percentage of parents actually responded to that survey. Here it is.
I believe there were 37 parent responses. That would be 20% of our parents.
So it's running pretty cool.
Yes, our parents responded at a rate of 20, there were 23.3% of our total respondents. We had 176 total responses. Can you really great math?
That was less than
23% of 176.
23% of 176.
So 40.
So, and we have approximately 100 families. So about 40% of our parents.
Okay, thank you.
General questions, I just want to say that when it was presented previously, it was presented as multiple schools across the Elko Spring Creek area. This is the first time as a board member I've been able to see one school. I appreciate what you and your team put together. I appreciate the way it was presented. And frankly, I see no reason why we would not approve this. While there were some on this board that did not think there were a 4-day was the best way. Now that it's done, we want to make it as effective and as good as possible. And I see no reason why we shouldn't allow you to have that as well.
I appreciate that.
Comments from the questions? I didn't think a 4-day was appropriate for Elko and Spring Creek, so I don't see the difference. Personally, I don't speak for all of the board. I just don't see the benefit, and I won't go through them all because I spent a long time at the last meeting doing that, so won't do that. But
Madam Chair, if you're gonna vote, do we have them to say now?
give me just a minute. We'll answer. Any other questions or comments? Okay, and this is a time where this is agendized. If there's anyone else who wishes to make a public comment, we will open the floor to that as well.
Thank you, Mr.
My name is Kathy Gibson. I have students that go here. The 4-day school day, I will only go along with it if we make it a 4-day work day. And I'm just kidding. I was like, what am I gonna do on that 4th, 5th day for daycare? Because our daycare is still here. The other thing that I was concerned about is, when I first moved to our community, I looked at all the schools and their ratings. And I noticed that Elko County school rating was pretty low throughout the nation. Not only that, the Native American communities were all at the very bottom of it. We have our test scores are low. I know we have trouble getting teachers. You know, the things that go on here, when I call up to the school district, the things that go on here, I keep saying, you know, if this happened in Elko, you guys would be jumping on it right away. So my concern is going to a 4-day school period, I think would be a deficit for our children in that learning process and the schooling that they need to meet the scores, to work on our attendance, to work on a lot of issues that we have in our community and have been here for years. So I don't agree with going to the 4-day. I know most of the staff do because, hey, I would too as a work person. I would want 4 days too. But if you look at the long haul and the generations to come, I think it would be a deficit for our community. Thank you.
In 4-day week and 5-day, you still have the amount of education time regardless of whether it's crammed in 4 days or spread out over 4. A lot of the kids will wait till the end of the week. My particular classes, by the time it comes around, half of my kids are gone. And, you know, when they come back in, they might have done the work, they might not have. But with sports activities and all that, they're gonna participate. You know, it's one of the highlights of their day. Some of the kids that go to school here don't ever leave the reservation unless it's to go on a sports trip. So there's just a lot of kids that participate in all kinds of extracurricular activities. And because they're gone on Fridays, they're missing them. So if they don't have the lessons on Friday, they didn't miss anything. And, I have 17 grandchildren that go to school between West Virginia and Idaho. And they were all on 4-day weeks and they were fantastic.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm usually really good at public speaking, but I am a parent to 5 children. One already graduated, and I have a senior. Well, my youngest is in kindergarten, and so I'm all for a 4-day school week. Only because I feel like we're such a small knit community that we do have a human development center here that would be available on Friday, and they work an 8 to 5 job. So I feel like if we were to come together as a community and the staff at the HCSD, I'm sure would be more than willing to have activities throughout the day for those parents who work an 8 to 5 job. That's what I feel like. I think it would work. My children are involved in sports, and so I know we are always on a Friday, sometimes a Tuesday or Thursday, depending on the plan. But I think with us being such a small community, I think it would be a great thing to have here. It's just easier. I think it would just be easier for a lot of us. I still feel like they should get the same type of education we did have Friday or some Friday. Sorry, my heart's just racing. But I know I'm trying to breathe. But I just wanted to make my comment that I feel like we would be able to have activities for kids on a Friday. And I feel like having that human development center here would be great. And I think they'd be willing to do that as well. So,
Sam, could you state your name for them?
oh, I'm sorry, Leilani Thorpe. Sorry. Thank you.
Same, my heart's racing, so I have no anxiety, but my name is Wyatt Milgren, and I attended the school K-12 straight through. And I guess my main issue, I know I work here at the school, but my main issue would be with behavioral. Because personally, me, I was not the easiest kid to deal with in school. I mean, most of my teachers would attest to that, but I feel like for me, having that one extra day would have been a lot better for my mental health because I was dealing with a lot. Just personal and with schoolwork and just like personal. That's other factors. So yeah, personally, I will always fight for the kids. I will always fight for the students like that. My main focus is just to make sure that the students themselves are okay. So yeah, I would be planning for the 4-day week. Like give them just like that little extra break, that little just like time away from all their struggles.
Good evening. My name is Lorraine Marshall, and I am a graduate of Hawaii High School. And I just want to state for the record that, and I'm a community member here, I work in this community, I grew up in this community, and we went to school 5 days a week here at Hawaii High Schools. I would be really interested in what Ms. Bastrop or Susan Neal has to say regarding the other side of the issue. I appreciate the school staff and feel that the points that they're making are valid. But on the other hand, I'm concerned about the 23% of parents that responded to this survey. And that concerns me a lot. I think that the comment period should be extended so that the word can get put out that this very, very impactful decision is about to be made. My concerns are the students and the learning. And some of the points that have been brought up regarding kids gone on Friday, I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed by the school. Let's see, I'm nervous too in the morning. Kids not being able to leave the reservation, I think that's something that we need to address with our tribal business council and how we can address this issue. Missing lessons, mental health issues. I think these are issues for our community that we need to raise at the tribal council level. So I wanted to state those things. My concern is for the students and their learning. Thank you. Good evening. I'm glad you guys all made it out here this far, and thank you guys for all coming, because I know it's a long drive and we are in the middle of nowhere. My name is Unibel Bennett. I am a 28-year retired conveyance engineer. I recently moved back. I am a graduate from Hawaii High School, so I've been here pretty much a long time, and I just recently moved back about 3 years ago. And the changes I've seen from when I went to school till now is completely different. And I've seen schools that have been on a 4-day track period and schools that have done 5. I think it would be an incentive to be on a 4-day track. As with most schools within the district, we are at an extreme level of retaining employees, especially teachers. And I think if we go to a 4-day track, it would probably help us bring in teachers. Because we're in the middle of nowhere. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have an arcade. We don't have much, to do unless we love hunting and fishing, which most of us up here want to do and love. So I think it would be an incentive for, especially us trying to recruit teachers and retain teachers to go to a 4-day work period and maybe be able to get more people to come to the school and realize that the area is just as beautiful as I remember it from growing up. And it's a great place to live. It's just that we need to all come together and start figuring out solutions for those problems that we have. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for coming down and listening to us. My name is Andrea Astarloa. I worked for the district for 25 years before I left to go work with the Shoshone tribe, which is where I currently work. I'm going to stand here and be an advocate for the students. Not everyone plays athletics. Not everyone is not everyone is involved in activities such as FFA. Not everyone is, not all the students are gone on Friday. We're going to have students, she just stated, we have no arcade, we have no movie theater, we don't even have a swimming pool or a place where our students can go on this day, this Friday, that is made or that is for education. I'm also concerned about their lunches. They get breakfast and lunch here. The services that the school provides are important. They need to be around positive role models, which the school provides, which just eyes on our children and education that they're losing out on one day. And like I said, I worked here 25 years. And one day does make a difference. Thank you for hearing me.
Madam Chair, there was one question that came up as a result of public comment. Thank you for all the public comment. Mr. Streeter, how long was the survey available for? Or if you're, sorry to put you on the spot for that.
This is done for the record. The survey opened on March 23rd, and we received our, because it is continuously open, it isn't closed. We received our most recent response on 4/12. So it has been continuously open. If there's opportunity for me to address some of the concerns, I'd like to. So it is our intention on that 5th day, Friday, to maintain an open building. Utilizing our 21st century after school program grant, we would push our hours to Fridays to provide services for those kiddos, including breakfast and lunch, that they have a place to come. For the kiddos that are credit deficient, we were severely impacted by attendance issues, internet issues. Students in the secondary did not earn their credits. So that 5th day Friday, our building would be available for them if they don't have a home-based device or home-based internet, for them to come in and utilize our building services staff in order to access education. So we would be utilizing, as I mentioned, grant funds to support staff, to support activities, and also field trips are on the agenda for kids too, who are not involved in any of those secondary-based activities, to go to the Discovery Center of Idaho, to go to the California Trail Museum, so that they can go from here to town. Town is far, town is 100 miles. Families can't often afford that. Families also may be working. There are so many factors at play that we do hope to fill that space with educational and enrichment activities. It would also provide extra employment opportunities for our staff, none of which should be impacted by the shortage or the condensing of hours into 4 days, but would give them an opportunity to earn funds on Fridays as well. And because our 21st century program is open to community members to offer programming, it's open to everybody. It provides opportunities for employment for everybody across the community to help us uplift children.
Madam Chair.
I'm in favor of having a 4-day school week for next year. Because it works with a lot of people's schedules. And a lot of points about
No, I was just prepared to make a motion if that's appropriate at this time. Move to approve the Hawaii combined request to move to a 4-day school week beginning school year 2023-2024.
Yeah. Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve the 4-day school week for Hawaii combined starting 23-24 school year. All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed, nay? Nay. All right. Chair votes aye and the motion carries. I appreciate the work it looks like you've already done preparing for the potential of taking care of students on Fridays and giving them more opportunities in the community. So thank you for that. All right, we'll move on to item 2.2, receipt, review, and possible approval of the alternative calendar application for school year 23-24.
So, every year, even usually the second one in April, we approve calendars, I'm sorry, all calendars have to be signed. In case of an alternative calendar application, for something, all that has to be in before May 1. So, we brought the calendars and school calendars before, you approve those, and so these are, so Josh, I don't know if we get this timeline. Should put all of Josh. Josh helps us meet our timeline of getting those applications in on time. The application, so there's 2 documents. One of them does include the Hawaii's 4-day option. So that one, based off of the motion you just made, that is included in there. No edits need to be made to that one. Just for transparency purposes, some people might think, well, that means that decision was already made. It's not. It's just when we have such a time crunch to get something through, I'm not ready to go. And in the situation that it was denied tonight, did not happen, we would have simply let the state know, hey, thanks, man, on that part of that application. And it's as simple. It's much simpler to remove from an application after the fact than it is to add to an application. That is the reason why we did it not over. And so, yeah, there's the applications.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Mr. Anderson, why is Bethel Youth Challenge Academy separated out? I understand that you may be seeing a presentation at a later date, but is that why it's separated out and not part of the other application with the way?
Yes. The other reason is because Josh had already completed this set of applications for everyone excluding Battleborn, and then Battleborn let us know somewhat late notice in Josh's process. So to credit Josh, he just did a separate one. And then again, assuming it gets approved tonight, we send those in, should a different decision be made at the next board meeting, we will hear from Battleborn. Then it would be simple enough to let the state know. Should you say no to their request, then we could just say, hey, you can withdraw that one application. Easily simple.
Point of clarification, would the motion be most appropriate then to indicate pending approval for Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy 4-day week, or just to approve it with it being presented and then make the change as needed later?
I think either way you make the motion would be fine. I think everybody, Battleborn included, knows should at the May 9th meeting something different happen, then this would also be rescinded. That much has been made clear to them. So I don't think they're going to be like, aha, but you approved the application, so now you have to let us do it. Like that's not going to be the case. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I just have to clarify, why do some schools have a little bit different time? Is it due to busing issues or just worked out that way? Like one elementary school has 10 minutes more than another one.
I have to see them specifically.
I was thinking that like Liberty Beach, that's 4:45, but
It's probably related to transportation. So, I mean, I have Ray and.
Lunch to impact that.
Okay, the length of the lunch period during the day as well. Yeah, thank you. They work very closely with all the schools.
I figured there was something.
How would the board like to proceed?
Would go ahead and make a motion, we approve the alternative calendar application for school year 23-24.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. Item 2.3 is receive, review, and possible approval of a request from Hawaii High School to hold their graduation ceremony on June 10th, 2023.
So just harkening back to 2 weeks ago, I'll take blame for not wording things appropriately, I guess. I thought we could, but there was a sorry, I was close. According to policy, you have to have graduation on the same day as the last day of school. Hawaii has at least the possibility of a special guest coming to the graduation on Saturday, which would be the day after graduation. So I think we have the right wording here now, and so make it official.
All right, discussion from the board. How would you like to proceed?
Madam Chair, move to approve the request from Hawaii High School to hold a graduation ceremony on June 10th, 2023.
Thank you. Do we have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Thank you for making sure there weren't any potential issues with this.
All right, there's no discussion. We will proceed to vote. All in favor, please say aye. Oh, hold on. Okay, please, before we vote, come on up.
As of this morning, we are waiting on confirmation. May I disclose who our intended?
Yeah, I said it last time. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our intended guest is Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. She has been asked by the tribal council to help confer diplomas, serve as a keynote, and possibly a parade marshal. So we have a lot of things coming up on the 10th, should this be approved. However, as of this morning, the chairman had not heard back from Catherine Cortez Masto's office. We were hoping to get confirmation prior to this meeting. In the instance she is not able to come, what would be the procedure for reverting to the prior and policy authorized graduation?
I mean, my preference would be, if we're approving the change to Saturday, if she ends up not showing up, let's just stick to Saturday is what I would prefer. Just from a scheduling standpoint, also the board members have all kind of picked where else they're going to be on which days and made assignments that way. So not to say that I'm sure one of the wonderful board members would say, you know what, I can go there on Saturday or on Friday, but it would preclude obviously being able to attend this because we have several other graduations going on. I don't know, but maybe I'm not the one who should answer that question.
I'm the one that will be coming here for graduation and not available either.
I'm also looking at the student next to you, who is an intended graduate.
I don't really have a problem with it being held on that Saturday, but I know some of my classmates, they feel otherwise. I would like to hear what they would like to say.
My name is Julie Johnson. I am graduating this year. I don't know. I don't think I really have a problem with it, but my thing is that like none of us are really told until like last minute. Pardon me. And none of us like knew about it until I found out and told them. And some of us are just gonna like have our plans like for when we want stuff, because I know I'm having
my grad party with like 3 other classmates, just because they're like my brothers. But, just because it's so big, I just don't want to make like a big thing, I guess. Like to where everybody's like kind of rushing around, and then like, the thing is, like, she's a guest, we've never even had a graduation on a Saturday. And the fact that we can kind of have to change it because of somebody who's coming to it is just kind of bizarre to me, like, why can't she come on our day? And then, like, I don't wanna have it, like, I don't want her to make it so political to where it's not even our day, but it hurts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound so selfish, but. Yeah.
Yeah, totally hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah. To be clear, this isn't something I coordinated. I think I made it very clear that the tribal councils requested it. So, yeah, that's the whole purpose of this, was try to honor the change that the tribe was looking to do. I mean, perhaps, sorry to take over while you were talking, perhaps you could make wording such that approve, however, allowing Hawaii Combined School the opportunity, the liberty to go back to revert to normal schedule there. Something fumbling around right now. Just put that wording in there, that they have the option to revert back to policy. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
You could have been.
And I would mind, either way, like my classmates said, we all have to plan, like our parties and stuff. And not only our parties, but like all of our family members have to come in and all over the place. And it'd be easier if like our graduation was on the original date, like Friday, so that they could have the Saturday and Sunday to travel back home. And just let them spend a week with us instead of having school on Saturday. That's my vote. And two, like my classmate said, it is our day. It's a really big milestone for all of us. I think it'd be easier if it was just Friday. We send it out. I'm Kiari, I'm also a senior graduating. I personally don't have a problem with having graduation on Friday or Saturday. I do understand like the political side of like having to come with like us requesting for each school and the publicity we've gotten as a community and a school. So I see the importance of it and why that this is kind of what it is. I know it's not really up to you guys, like what happened, but just like for the record, for like everyone here, like I don't want it to be super political, like they were saying, like it is our day. I appreciate if she comes out here and speaks for us, because we just also don't have a female speaker at the moment. So kind of this is an easy, now we have our speakers. But yeah, so I also just want to be like really open with like, if this is also what the tribe wants. And if it's gonna help us in the long run, with like maybe even like a new school. So I'm kind of whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got her number. I'll tell her to keep it brief.
All right, is there anyone else who wishes to make a comment? Okay, I'm gonna bring it back to the board. We do have a motion on the floor. Sounds like we might need to make some adjustments to that motion. So how would the board like to proceed?
Briefly, before we move forward, if I may, Madam Chair, Mr. Streeter, or perhaps Mr. John, if I'm looking at the attendance membership summary report that was part of item 2.01, it appears there are 11 seniors this year. Is that correct?
10 will graduate.
10, and we've heard from 4 of them today, if I had my count correct. All right, thank you. Okay, well then. Madam Chair, I'd like to strike my motion and start anew rather than try to amend it and have it perhaps get messy. So I'd like to withdraw my motion.
The maker of the second is that you agree with it as well. Thank you. All right, let's start again.
And I'm happy to take this up, make sure I'm getting this correct. But I'm also welcome to yield the floor to another if they would like. So, in hearing from the 4 students that really had no strong preference for it being on a Saturday, but has some good reasons to have it on a Friday, I absolutely think that we need to give them the flexibility. I also understand, though, that that impacts the ability to send out graduation announcements. That does change travel plans and some other things. So giving the maximum amount of flexibility to the students, it is their day, I think is only appropriate and only respectful. Therefore, let's try this. Madam Chair, I move to approve the request from Hawaii High School to hold their graduation ceremony on June 10th, 2023, with the ability to change that date to June 9th, 2023, as conditions warrant.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
I'd just like to add that it would be nice, whatever is happening, is to get that date nailed down as quickly as possible. Possibly put a time or you know, if their office isn't going to respond, just, you know, then you go forward with what's best. I would like to see that.
Lots of seniors shaking their heads.
We just need our.
I have a senior and she's feeling the same way, so I understand. All right, is there any other discussion before we move to a vote? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Chair votes aye and the motion carries. We wish you luck and speed in being able to. Congratulations. Experience from our students and congratulations in advance.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a great time to jump into the world with both. So
I'm looking forward to being here, whatever day it is. So.
I will move to item 2.4, discussion and possible approval of a date, time, and location to hold a board work session for setting board goals. This is for possible action. All right.
We're looking at this, I'll say something. So just as a reminder, because this would be, this goes under policy BE, which is this is subject to open meeting law. That's a big deal. We almost all of our business in open meeting, but just a lot of new people. So I want to make sure you're aware that this applies to that policy. So.
All right, discussion to the board.
Well, I just would throw out there that Mondays are out for me, but that I'd like to see a possibly incorporated into a day where we have a board meeting to reduce travel. If that's possible, I'm not sure if that's a good way to do it or not, because it's being first experience. You know, if we could do that something on the afternoon before meeting, would work very well for me.
I had something else. I thought that perhaps we do it at 1 o'clock or early afternoon on a Tuesday, seeking a board meeting. I know that Dr. Byers, it has a Tuesday afternoon, still open generally from the practice. Generally, I can be flexible with the schedule, but that was previous a discussion also on when we were moving board meeting times and dates. Mr. Durham had indicated early on a Tuesday. early afternoon, so I would like to see that potentially happen. That works well for everybody.
As opposed to.
You guys want my schedule? I'm available Tuesdays and Fridays. And Fridays we're out the table, so. Yeah, see, so. Tuesday we would ideal any other. Board doesn't make it on any other day. That is totally, obviously totally fine, but Tuesday would be ideal.
Well, if no one is opposed to doing it on a Tuesday before a board meeting, then it sounds like we've come to a consensus on that. Is there a time?
Board has been invited, I believe, to an elementary choir at Mountain View in Elko on Tuesday the 9th at 12 o'clock. Not to build everybody's schedule out, but I see no reason why we need to wait much longer. We've been waiting on this and looking and talking about this, many of us, for more than a year now, I believe. If I say the sooner the better, I would propose May 9th at 1 o'clock at the office. Madam Chair, I'm happy to make that as an official motion.
All right, is there a second? Motion and a second to set the time for our board goals workshop to be May 9th at 1 p.m. Need a second?
Time zone on Tuesday the 9th. That's not to say we shouldn't do it, so, because these are the board rules. I'm assuming you were going to invite me to that meeting as well. I can it's gonna be an open meeting, so which means we're gonna have it streaming, and I can certainly make whatever efforts possible. I think I'll be in New York at that time, but I will. I'll be back just to be part of the.
That change anything before? We can just have Mr. Anderson zoom in us.
I agree that we should do it as soon as possible, so, yeah.
Right. Oh, we have a motion. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Chair votes aye, and the motion carries. We'll be setting our board goals on May 9th at 1 p.m. All right, so we'll move on to item 2.5, to see review and discussion of possible changes to policy JD, student welfare, student transportation. This is a non-action item. It's for discussion only.
So, 2 board meetings ago, we had some public comments that lamented the fact that it's been decades of our policy not changing in regards to when it comes to lodging for people who have to, there's no transportation available, so they pay $10 on days that kids attend school while they pay for other lodging. That person is probably correct, but that is a very outdated amount of money for how much it costs to live in any habitation for a day. NRS 386-81010 actually has language that says, except as otherwise provided, and it references another NRS, if the daily transportation of pupils not practical or economical, the board of trustees in lieu of furnishing transportation may pay to the parents or guardian of the pupil an amount of money not to exceed $10 per day of attendance at school. So it would be a violation of statute to give them more money. So I do not recommend that we do not recommend that we violate statute. That's my official recommendation.
Madam Chair, since this has come before the board, I would like to at least suggest a couple of changes to the policy since we've already started it. In that, we certainly should reference 386.810 in the document. So I definitely think we need to add that as legal reference on the legal reference section. I'd also like to see subsistence better defined and separated out from language in section 2, in the section 2 paragraph. So potentially on section 2, like or subsistence resulting in where bus transportation is not economically feasible or practical, the district may enter into transportation contracts with parents, guardians for mileage payments as follows. Period. Well, semicolon, colon, I guess, because it then defines subsistence payments under number 3. And I think it just needs to clarify what those subsistence payments are. Finally, section 4 currently reads, the district will not provide transportation mileage contracts or subsistence payments for students within granted zoning variances. There are occasions where I think the board should take into account circumstances, particularly when we have some of our ranching communities that might be in one area, but closer or zoned in one school, but choosing to go to another school, such as what we see with some of the ranches north of Wells that are potentially zoned West Wendover, attending Wells, or vice versa. I don't know that it's necessarily needs to come before the board every time to ask for an exemption to policy JGD. Therefore, I'd like to see language in here that says unless approved by the board, therefore they simply have to come to the board and ask for that variance without us having to necessarily circumvent the entire policy of JGD. I hope I made that sense, or make that make sense, but that's the only thing that I'd like to see is potentially say districts, or that we will not do these things without board approval. I would recommend that go under section 4 and in the middle of page 2.
You want to have some sort of unless or something.
Correct.
Approval by clause in there.
Correct.
Have we already done, we have done that then?
I believe we've done that and if we haven't, then we may have been violating policy, because I believe there are some families that are getting transportation that are zoned in one, attending another. But I may be mistaken.
What we do allow is for someone who lives outside, and this happens within zones, or if you run a variance, as long as there's space, if you are able to get your student to the spot where transportation occurs, then we don't leave kids on the side of the road. But
In the rural areas.
yes, I was the principal in Wells. Yes, we had kids who were on variances, but got to the transportation.
As far as someone coming from an area and coming before the board and saying, hey,
I was more concerned, not that we were leaving them, because I would never expect us to leave them, but I was thinking more of the in lieu of payments. So if we have a family that is in, well, there were 3 ranches for the Wine Cup Gambling Ranch. Because
We changed the whole area though.
Oh, that's right. You know what? That's how we got around it. Thank you. We changed the whole area. That's right.
So there.
Okay.
I will take your suggestion under advisement. Remember, since this is a non-action, this is just we're talking.
Yep.
I'll write notes down. I'll talk to transportation. I'll talk to the directors back in the room. Stop shaking your head. And we will consider whether to put something like that on a.
DJ, can I speak to that real quick? The fact of paying for transportation variances.
Yeah, let's not do that now.
Okay.
I appreciate you taking it under consideration. That was all I was asking.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I'll formulate pros and cons of such a scenario for you, so you can be well advised. As far as the other suggestions, so I think the addition to legal, I don't think we have to. That's just something we can edit, but I think the removal and the clarifying language in area 3 would require, or that would be a substantial enough alteration to or revision to the policy that would require a vote. So in some form or fashion, you can expect to see this on the next agenda, and I'll make sure to run that through all of them and through Seth, obviously, and we'll let you know what our opinion is on that.
What was that? So you're gonna run it through legal then too, just for the sake of sort of the financial fiscal, just changing some words around there? Are you just gonna run it through you guys? First.
I think the changes are simple enough that I'm not sure.
Try to
And, yeah,
save a little bit of money.
I love our lawyer, but I think we got this.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion on any possible changes to JGE before we move forward? Seeing none, we'll move to our consent agenda, 3.1.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Yeah, second. All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed, nay? Chair votes aye, and the consent agenda is approved. Item 4.1 is a report from our NASB director.
Not a whole lot to add since the last meeting. Still monitoring pretty close what's going on in the state legislature. I've been forwarding those to you guys on a weekly basis as I get them. We headed to Fallon for the NASB meeting on Thursday night, and then do a digital threat assessment training on Friday, which if you're coming, right? Is anybody else going to
It's
that?
Friday, Saturday.
Pardon?
It's Friday, Saturday, right?
Yes.
Not Thursday, Friday. Okay.
Did I say, I'm sorry, yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's Friday, Saturday. Saturday had, make sure and check the second email you got, or if you hadn't got it, I can forward it to you, but they were wanting us to set up some profiles and stuff beforehand to be prepared for the meeting. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like they're going to go pretty deep on some social media and things like that, and where that training goes. So I'll be back with a good report on all that next week.
We'll move to item 4.2, which is items from.
I'll go ahead and jump right in there too. First of all, I want to thank everybody here in the community for that great dinner we had. How welcome you've all made me feel coming here. This is my first visit, and really looking forward to coming back. Excited for graduation, whatever day that is. Either way, I know it's going to be a great day. I'm really, it's been great at half the graduating class now, I think. And just got to tell you, I'm very, very impressed with all of you. You guys are all so sharp. I'm really impressed. So, again, thank you for the hospitality here. And it's
Any other items?
Madam Chair, if I may, I'm echoing what Mr. Erm said. Thank you very much to the community. Thank you for welcoming us. I was asked to let the board know that in addition to the information and invitation that we received this evening, on April 27th, 2023, at the Elko High School Centennial Gymnasium from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. will be an interactive drumming session hosted by Zero Suicides Elko County, sponsored by Nevada Gold Mines. 2 days later, on Saturday, April 29th, 8:30 to 1, will be an event at the Elko Convention Center regarding, again, Zero Suicides, and the board has been informally invited to that as well. Mr. Anderson, I hope I'm not taking anything away from your presentation here in just a moment. However, School Principals Day is May 1, if you want to do advance notice, so thank you to our principals. School Lunch Hero Day is May 5. Thank you to our lunch folks. National Teachers Appreciation Week is May 8 through May 14. If you want to go out and get teachers something now, thank you very much, teachers. And National School Nurse Day is May 10. So thank you very much to all of our health professionals in our schools. Again, I hope I didn't take anything away from you. I think it deserves to be mentioned again, though, if you did.
It feels an awful lot like, I don't know, some years ago, someone was like, oh crap, it's almost the end of the school year. We have to say thank you to everybody, right? Like the first, the 8th, the 10th, just like cram them all in at the end of the year.
I did notice that. When we do the senior calendar, I go through every day of the month to figure out what day it is, and I noticed that too when I started writing it all down. So thank you for the end of the school year for all of these professionals and certified employees. Madam Chair, thank you. That is all I have.
Thank you. There are no other items from board members. We will move on to item 5.1, which is our superintendent.
Thank you. Just want to share a few things with you and all with celebrations per usual. So one thing that's kind of exciting is I don't know how excited he was to do it, but I sent Ray somewhere last week. Ray is our school improvement director, for those who don't know, Ray Smith. And secondary schools are required to become accredited in order to be able to award diplomas. And nobody else is required, no other schools are required to. And up to this point, there's like a 5-year rotation that schools have to get accredited. Yeah, so every 5 years, our secondary schools have to be accredited. But there is an option with Cosmo, who is our accrediting body, or I think that's part of a larger body. But anyway, they can do what's called the system accreditation, and that would mean that instead of Spring Creek, who did theirs last year, and someone's doing theirs this year, and just cycling that way, that there would be like a one-time thing where they would accredit our entire school district. And it's something that some school districts are working on, but there's a lot of like hesitancy, like it's a new thing, we don't know about it. So I'm part of the Nevada Advisory Council with Cognia for accreditation in our state. Leaving tomorrow to go to that quarterly meeting. But anyway, I sent Ray to observe what that looks like. He went up to Burley to, was it Cassia County and in Idaho, and he got to see firsthand how one of those works. So it's something that we're looking at considering for the future. We feel like between our strategic plan and everything else we got going on, it's probably a little too much to take on at this exact moment. But where it does fit in nicely with our strategic plan, I'm thinking of maybe as one of the things we do later in the plan, something that's like one of the more culminating kind of actions we would take is in our strategic plan, we talked about having system-wide expectations and things consistent across the district. And I think that would be a great thing to achieve, to work towards achieving as we get towards the end of our strategic plan. Maybe have it culminate in our ability to be able to do a systems accreditation. So just throwing that up there now, and then like in a year, I'll say it again. Oh yeah, that thing. But anyway, we'll continue to accredit schools one at a time, or I think maybe next year we have 2 up. This year we had a little bit of a break. We have 2 schools out next year. So, but anyway, that's on the horizon. I think that we are constantly, now that we have a strategic plan, we are constantly thinking about what fits in with that, what directs us towards achieving those things, and how can we be true to that and honor that work that was done. So that's something I want to share with you. I'm not going to get real political about it, but I would like to encourage you to read through, and it's like 90 something pages, but at least read through the blue and the red lines on AB 400. AB 400 is the governor's omnibus bill for education. And there are some things in there that seem really just fine. And there are some things in there that I think are problematic for a public school district. It's being heard tomorrow, I think, in front of the Ways and Means Committee. I would encourage you, if you have some time, to take a look at what those are, and if you have some concerns about that and how it would affect public schools in our school districts, to reach out to your legislators, to the governor, let them know how we think that would be bad for us. I'm doing that with our superintendent's organization through our lobbyists, but it always helps to hear from people back in the counties, and I know the governor likes Elko County, so it might be impactful to hear from Elko County about it. So I want to make sure you know about that. Reminder that May 1 which is next Monday, is our budget forum. A lot of more efforts than we can. Julie's not here right now. Well, happy birthday to Julie Davis, by the way. Today's her birthday. Julie Davis, our CFO, is usually present at all meetings, but given that it was her birthday and there was nothing overtly financial on our agenda, without asking you, I gave Julie I bet she's watching right now, but I did not make her travel. I told her she could be at one. So But she has gone above and beyond over the last year and a half, 2 years, to help our district be financially transparent. And anyone who thinks that it's not, I invite you to come to budget forum, ask all the hard questions. Anything you would possibly want to know about our checkbook, about our expenditures, about everything with our finances is already perfectly available online, but we will discuss it as much as people need to, or have an appetite to, at that budget forum. So it's Monday, this coming Monday, May 1st, and that is at, I want to say it's 5:30 Pacific time. So, yeah, that's important to share as well. So a few happy things. Looking forward to going to Northside Elementary's Glow Show. They're going to be singing in dark, I think, with glow stuff. Especially on 6 o'clock on Saturday, so that sounds fun. Let's see. There's a Spring Creek Middle student, a 7th grader, named Isabel Hanson, who was selected from kids nationally to attend a 2-week STEM conference in Baltimore, Maryland this summer. She's the first student ever from Spring Creek Middle, as far as we know. So congratulations to Isabel and to her family, and then obviously to all the staff at Spring Creek Middle. That's pretty exciting. Other congratulations, the Elko High School speech and debate team did amazing at the Nevada Speech and Debate Championship, and I'm always reminded that there is no 3A, 4A, 5A when it comes to speech and debate. It's just speech and debate. So Elko, a 3A speech and debate team. There were 19 Southern teams. Their wording, we waltzed through every other Northern Nevada team. And of the 19 Southern teams, only 2 scored better than Elko High. They brought the 3rd overall place team cup, and they did pretty awesome. They brought home team honor for best program interpretation team, and Megan Dwyer was named the individual state champion. Did she send the table this one time? I thought so. Yeah, okay, great. So congrats to her. So congratulations to the team. I'm just going to name those kids. So Megan Dwyer, Justice Siratek, Tayton Bates, Tommy Lee Spurger, Aspen Stahl, Catherine Weiner, Asia Nelson, Ariana Brown, Danica Evans, Kiara Hernandez Duarte, Ryan Rushton, Reagan Stackman, and Xavier Griswold. And they are going to head to Minneapolis, Minnesota for some All-American national competition. Megan Dwyer, Justice Siratek, Tommy Lee Spurger, Kiara Hernandez Duarte, and Danica will all be there at that tournament. So congrats to them. Well done. I also have some Skills USA qualifiers. We have 2 more national qualifiers. Spring Creek High School, first place national qualifier in extemporaneous speaking is JC. All right, go me. Go JC. And then national qualifier, also first place Logan Sign in computer programming. And then we did have, so those were national qualifiers. In 2nd place, Nathan Thomas in cabinet making. 2nd place, Dominic Santos and Leah Smith, additive manufacturing. 2nd place for Joanna Cox, Alvin Howell, and Stephen Stoddard and Douglas Illip. And 3rd place, Douglas Illip, cabinet making. Then, apologies here, I'm going to share something with you real quick. This is pretty impressive. I don't know how well you're going to see it on the screen, but I'm going to do my best to show it. So from Carlin High School, it wasn't a national qualifier, but Terrell Cole got 3rd place for welding sculpture, and he welded that amazing, super intricate, detailed train that you can see on there, and it was nicknamed Scrappy on the front of the base of it. And then also in welding, James Wines got 5th place. So congrats to those students on just representing Elko County and themselves and their schools very well. The last congratulations I'm going to give is we recently, as you know, when you approved Mr. Wickersham's buyout, you also approved there being a vacancy at principal at Elko High. We concluded our interviews and selected the current vice principal at Elko High, John Foss, as the next principal of Elko High School. And so congratulations to John, and just FYI, John Foss will be the new principal of Elko High moving forward.
can people, or do people submit questions ahead of time if they're going to watch online, or is it going to be like a Zoom link that we can actually ask them in person?
I do not know if there is interactive participation. I believe, and Kayla's not here unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure on our website, there's a place where the form is talked about, there's like a link for where you can submit questions. Alternatively, if you can't find that link, feel free to sorry, Cassie, but you can send Cassie Gray or me those questions, and we'll make sure they get to the board.
I just want to know that.
Yes, yes, if you can't be there, but you still have questions answered, then that's what the questions do. There's just a minute.
Okay, we'll move on to item 6.1, approval of our accounts payable.
Madam Chair, move to approve the accounts payable for April 25, 2023.
Thank you. We have a second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Abstentions for disclosures?
I'm a family member.
Yeah, I will disclose that I'm a family member who is also listed, but I will not be abstaining as I'm not financially impacted by that. All right, any other questions? Accounts payable, April 25th, before we vote. All right, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Chair votes aye, and with one abstention, the motion carries. We have several more accounts payable. These are all reimbursements to board members for different travel and things of that nature. So we need motions to.
Madam Chair, I think it's best if we take these one at a time, just to allow the maximum amount of votes possible. Therefore, I move to approve the AP for April 25 board member reimbursement number 1.
We have a motion and a second.
I'll be abstaining because that's me.
All right, thank you. Discussion? Okay, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Chair votes aye and with one abstention. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, move to approve the AP for April 25 board member reimbursement number 2.
Thank you. We have a second.
Madam Chair, I must disclose that this is about me, therefore I will be abstaining.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or discussion before we vote? All right, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Chair votes aye, and with one abstention, motion carries.
Madam Chair, move to approve the AP April 25 board member reimbursement number 3.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I will be abstaining and disclosing that I am well listed for this reimbursement. All right, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Chair abstains, and the motion carries.
Madam Chair, move to approve AP April 25 board member reimbursement number 4.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna say, it pertains to me and it was for an extra gift card because we have 2 people for stars.
Too many stars to award stuff to.
That's right.
Yes, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Chair votes aye, and with one abstention, the motion carries. It's fun. Our final agenda item is 7.1, which is input from the public. Is there anyone who wishes to speak?
Yes, just briefly. I just want to say, I attend a lot of board meetings. I have never left a board meeting and I'll go without CJ or Cassie, or one of the directors wishing me safe travel on the way home. Stay away from the cows, and I'm glad that my trip is 2 blocks.
Is there anyone else who wishes to make a comment? Well, we will adjourn the meeting with a thank you for having us. We appreciate your hospitality. We appreciate your allowing us to be here. Thank you. So, with that being said, everyone safe travels. We'll do our best to travel safely as well. And the meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful night.